Guided meditation and stress management. Welcome, you guys. And guided meditation, that you simply borrow the mind of a teacher and you keep your mind aside. Why we say that? Your mind has memories of negative impressions, positive impressions. The entire garbage is there. So during the practice of meditation, if the mind goes back to the past, say for example, you had some problem with your honey, so I'm giving you the practice, you are fighting with your honey in your mind. So that is why you have to keep your mind aside. So there comes one challenge, that this mind is constantly chattering. It is constantly wandering. It is constantly bringing in those thoughts from the memories which you lived and you experienced, maybe anxiety, negativity, stress, reaction, blame. These impressions overpowers the higher state of consciousness. Where is higher mind? The higher mind is always in peace. It takes over. I would say it creates a veil. It doesn't destroy that inner peace and calmness. That memories creates a veil. The peace is still there, but that veil takes over you and your life, and the problem continues. So the journey, when I say borrow my mind, you are listening, you are following the instructions. At the same time, those memories pops up, let it happen, you continue the journey. So that is one part of this guided meditation and an understanding. The second part is stress management. So I consider stress that includes all challenges of the human life, that includes physical challenges, mental challenges, emotional challenges. And that is the forte of the medical science. They diagnose you, you have seizure, anxiety, stress, physical pain, and a lot of other challenges. So I leave that on the medical science. So we give a very specific word, that is suffering. And that suffering includes the entire challenges that we experience in our daily life. Pay a little more attention. Who experiences these challenges? Mind. If there is no mind, there is no experience. In deep sleep, there is no mind. You are not aware of yourself. Neither you know yourself, nor your experiences. In deep sleep means in deep sleep you transcend the body and the mind. When you wake up from the deep sleep, you have a memory of the sound sleep. That is how you express that, no, I had a sound sleep. But in deep sleep you are not aware. Neither mind is there, nor you are aware of yourself. But you are there. So that person who is present in deep sleep, in the absence of the mind and the body, returns in the waking state, and that you picks up the memory of the mind, and it says you had a sound sleep. I don't know whether you have understood it now. Then what happens in dream? In dream state, you transcend the body because you are disconnected from the body, but you are connected with your subconscious mind, so that you have lot of thoughts, feeling, sensation, objects in the dream state. Will you like to pay attention again? In the dream state, those objects are constantly changing, as if you are watching a film. You travel thousands of miles in few seconds, and it appears real in dream, right? You meet thousands of people, and it appears real. You understand what I'm saying? The moment you wake up again, your dream state breaks up. This is the waking state. What is the waking state? I see the objects. Whatever the objects I see, they are constant. Like you guys, like this room, like the ceiling. You see the difference between deep sleep, mind is not there, body is not there, you are there, but you don't know. In dream state, you don't know yourself, but the objects are people, objects are moving constantly. That is why we have traveled 10,000 miles in dream within a second. Clear? In waking state, it is a factual. So we are aware of the objects in the name of the people, places. Why I am explaining? No, that's why I say, so why I am explaining. What happens when you live in the same virtual world in a waking state? Take an example. Are you listening to me? Yes. At the same time, the mind is running the virtual world like the dream. That causes many problems of anxiety, stress, suffering, seizures, and all that. You're living in a waking state, but your mind is living in a virtual dream state. The mind is constantly racing, running. Because it is racing very fast, you complain, my mind is racing. You complain, I'm not able to focus. You complain, no, it's terrible, I cannot control. Nothing is required. In guided meditation, so what is the fourth state? The fourth state comes when you are not obsessed with the mind. You and the mind are understood and experienced as different and separate from you. Just before that, when women brought her 4-year-old child having hyperactivity, what the doctor diagnosed, ADHD, I said, okay, let me live with that child, 4 years old, and I'll show you that whether he is really hyperactive or not. So I picked up his attention. I never told him, do this and don't do this. I never explained him, this is guided meditation and this is how you have to manage your stress. So the moment I engaged him where his mind was, within 20 minutes he lied down and he was in deep sleep. That is the same tool that I use at a much higher level because you all are wise. You all are intelligent. No, Joe? Yes. So now, why I asked you you're intelligent? Keep your mind aside. Don't complain. With those 4-year-old child, I have not to say keep your mind aside. And his mom was surprised. No, I try. I said, you force. The moment you force, you create a do's and don'ts. His mind reacts and blames, and the problem is increasing. The same way we have to treat our mind. That is the last step that we are understanding. Thoughts are coming, going. Let these thoughts come and go. It is the mind with its experience that declares. What it declares? Your mind is wandering. Your mind is wandering, you are not. Are you wandering? No. Your mind is wandering. Let it wander. Are you wandering? No. It needs a simple understanding. And during the practice, then what happens? The mind wanders. It said, I have a pain for the last 10 years. What this thought has to do during the practice of meditation. So couple of options. Your mind says, why this thought has come? I have to control it. Don't control it. You continue the journey. No. So when you're trying to control, you try to get affected, then what happens? You're living in a dreaming state even when you are doing a meditation. Will that benefit you? No. You may be coming to me for 10 years and you're living into that state. It is you who is responsible. That's why I live in a happy life. I don't own any responsibility. That's why I'm not a teacher. It is you who has to do. Understand it again. Understand it in a different way. Think of that there are two minds. One mind is listening to me. Now, I'm a teacher as long as the class is on. After that, finished. That's how you're listening. So one mind is listening the instructions. Second mind is living in a virtual world. You have to make a choice. You continue to listen to me, or you continue to listen to your mind. So that choice you have to make. Once that choice is made, meditation is a play and a fun. Then what happens? When you follow that instruction and keep your mind aside, what happens? That your mind that complains, I have seizure, I have anxiety, I have problem, I have suffering, they are simply the waves in the ocean. That ocean is your real mind. To understand, like a metaphor. So one day what happens? Understand that. One day what happens? You do not remain wave. As long as you live and act like a wave, that wave is always scared when I'm going to die. First, the wave also considers that I'm separate from an ocean. Means The crazy mind always keeps itself separate from the peace and the happiness. That is why we don't experience. But that crazy mind is like a wave. So what happens in meditation? Now you become an ocean. What happens to an ocean? I'm an ocean. Will I ever be worried about the waves? These waves are thoughts. Maybe crazy thoughts, maybe good thoughts, maybe negative. Will the ocean ever be worried about the waves? No. Then from the standpoint of an ocean, waves simply do not exist. Waves do not exist. It is in appearance it exists. This is one of the highest principles. Conclusion is that all our stress and the suffering is caused due to the ignorance. They are not less than the waves. Can you declare from today that I am the peace, I am the happiness? That is an ocean. Once the mind aspires and fixes its goal to discover peace and happiness, then he starts with that I am the peace and the happiness. No, but I'm not experiencing. Faith means pending inquiry through these talks and understanding, followed by the practice. I tried to make all the doubts clear. If you don't make your doubts clear, then it is your responsibility. We have a saying that doubt destroys you. Doubt in yourself, not in me. Why should you trust me? Keep doubting me, no problem. But if you doubt that peace and happiness is not in you, destroys you. Keep a smile. Smile is a part of that. That is the journey of guided meditation. Let us start our journey. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and sit or lie down. Be comfortable. Let us take an active step. Be comfortable. My friends, be comfortable. and start breathing long in the hissing sound from both the nostrils, keeping your focus inside the head. You will experience the change, accept the change. Any experience that comes, just continue long in the hissing breath. I want to see how much strength you have. Yeah, you can make a big noise, it's okay. And we are only doing for 2 minutes, not a big deal. Active steps. Why active steps? To purify the mind, to raise our awareness and attention. But why to do that? To move into a deeper state of our consciousness. The qualification is to purify the mind. So temporarily we purify the mind. Permanent purification comes through the meditation. Long in the hissing. Keep your mind aside. Your mind will say no, no. It reacts, let it react. And you continue doing it. You continue doing it. Only 2 minutes. Not a big deal. Continue, my friends. Continue. 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 Long in the hissing. Let us, this crazy mind, know that yes, we can take over you. You give me any kind of an experience, but continue with that. Continue with that. Long in the hissing breath. Only for 2 minutes. And stop it. We have completed. Learn from your own experiences. Move the mind on the head and the neck. Let the mind explain your own experiences. Plus, there is a sensation, and there is a sensation inside and outside your head. Don't give it a label. The moment you give it a label, then your mind goes back to the memory lane and it says, okay, this is what happened to me last time. No, you're living in present. Right arm and left arm, sensation, just a sensation and awareness. The quality of the mind that doesn't give a label, that is simply aware of the sensation in the meditation journey, is the mind ready and qualified. See one point. Rib cage in the belly. Just become aware. Feel the sensation. Done. Know the mind. That is why I ask you to keep your mind aside. The mind goes back, no. This is the sensation, is this sensation is this. And then the mind takes over you. And then you say, no, I have a lot of stress. You are not your mind. That is why we are doing it. When the mind is impure, then I and the mind are together. We cannot separate it. Move the mind on the right leg, sensation and awareness. The mind in the left leg, sensation and awareness. Take one example. We are in advanced journey of my guided meditation and stress management. One example. So that will enlighten you. I will be very happy. For example, you're going to do the humming sound. Before that, while doing the humming sound, your mind says, let us scratch, move the body. And when the mind moves the body, that is how it triggers. First it moves the body and it has already taken over you. The next point, the mind will bring in all the memories and mind will remain outside. You will claim you are doing the practice, but you are not. That is what I explained, that virtual reality takes over when you keep your mind, when you keep listening to your mind. Let it happen. Whatever the mind says, let it say. Let it wander. Let it distract. But at the same time, you borrow my mind, you're listening to me. And you follow it. Now, take a deep breath into the belly and the chest. Focus again inside the forehead and start the humming sound. Louder it is, better it is. Longer it is, better it is. Maintain your awareness without moving the body at all. Continue long, deep in the humming sound. Louder, deeper and longer, as if you have to do nothing except humming. Continue the journey. What is going to happen? The impure mind will be absorbed in this sound of humming. The mind will become pure. We can go deeper into the meditative state. I try to explain you logically every step. I hope, believe you understood it and you are into the practice. Please continue. Continue. The journey continue. Continue. Stop this humming. The next step demands learning, understanding, practice, and experience here and now. So now see, I moved the very first step as a third step. You know there is a mind. So when I say move your mind on the neck joint, you see the mind move to the neck joint. You see the mind feels the sensation. You see the mind experiences the sensation. you see the mind experiences the steadiness. Once you pick up what is hidden in this instruction, you can already be into the state of meditation. And that I will reveal at the end of this step. So when I say move the mind on the shoulder joints, you see that the mind moves on the shoulder joints. You see the mind is experiencing the sensation. You see the mind is experiences being comfortable and steadiness. Move the mind on the hip joint. You see the mind move to the hip joint. Again, it is you see the mind is experiencing the sensation being comfortable and steadiness. Move the mind on the knee joints. So what is happening? You see the mind is there on the hip joint. Now on the knee joints. You see the mind is experiencing the sensation. It recognizes, the mind recognizes you are comfortable with the knee joints and the steadiness. That is why I changed the instruction today, because it is the third step. Normally it is the first step. Move the mind on the ankle joints. You see. So my instruction is you see the mind is at the ankle joints. You also see the mind is experiencing the sensation. You also see the mind is saying it is comfortable. That is why you are not moving it. That is why you experience the steadiness. Look at the entire body. Move the mind on the entire body. You see the mind is on the entire body. You see the mind is experiencing. You are comfortable with the body. You experience the sensation. The mind is experiencing the steadiness. So what is the principle? Are you aware you are different from the mind? How do I know I'm different from you guys? Because I can see you. I can feel you. I can think of you. Why you are different from your mind and the body? Because you know here is a body. You can think of the body. You can feel the body. You can experience the pain and the comfort in the body. Same with the mind. Very simple principle. My master used to say that principle is simple. Intellectually it makes a sense. But it happens, the realization comes by regular practice, understanding through different point of view. That is why I give a brief talk. It is for you. I'm okay, even I don't need to give it. We will apply the same principle, you and the mind. Okay, you understand, you are aware. The mind has lot of thoughts, mind is wandering. You are still here. You are listening to me. Come on. Let the mind wander. Why? You are not the mind. That awareness you are not the mind is being carefree. How can you become carefree? If you consider and claim that you are the mind. So what the mind says? Mind says, I'm stressed, I'm anxious. No, you are not. Mind is experiencing the stress and anxiety and the seizure and all these problems. You are not. What it needs? Simple awareness. What is that awareness? The same awareness, the way I'm seeing you are different from me, the same way you are aware you're different from the mind, and the mind is playing, wandering, going, complaining, blaming. Okay, thank you. Like the child I was giving a lesson, 4-year-old child. She jumped, he jumped. Oh, I said, yes, very good, thank you. Oh, you like me jumping? Yes. He asked me, how old are you? I said, 3 years. And I created an impression. Your child is your mind. When you make your child as your father, then the problem is there. Third point, being casual. So we'll take that being casual in the next step, the signature step of this program. Because I take all these teachings from the Upanishad. Upanishad, sitting nearby yourself. Become aware of the head and the neck now. And experience the sensation. The mind goes again. You experience the relaxation. The mind goes again to the head and the neck. And you experience the stillness. Why I changed the instruction? To make you aware if the mind repeats its awareness of anything consciously. No mind can ever distract and disturb you. See that? So again see. Move the mind on the right arm. Okay. You're aware of the right. Move the mind again on the right arm. You feel the sensation. Move the mind again on the right arm. You experience the relaxation. Mind moves again. You experience the stillness. So what is happening? You're not pushing. The mind repeats its awareness on a particular object. Here it was right arm. So that repetition of awareness of the right arm, what happens to the mind? The day will come when your mind will listen to you. Then what is going to happen? You are started working on the mind. Then what is going to happen? Then you will live in meditation. Move the mind on the left arm. Again move the mind on the left arm. First you become aware, here is the shape of the left arm. Then you feel the sensation. The mind move it again on the left arm. You experience the relaxation. Move it again on the stillness. Done. It's a play. I trust when I explained you about the child. I followed the child. Simple way. But I was aware that I'm different from the child. I was jumping. First few minutes. I never said to him, no, stop it, listen to me, no. And then I said, oh, let me do the humming. Can you do it? Yes. That is how the mind is taken back. Move the mind on the head and the neck. This is what exactly we are here. The mind goes to the chest and the belly. You become aware of the shape. The mind goes back, you feel the sensation. Where? Chest and the belly. Mind goes back again to the chest and the belly. You experience the relaxation and the stillness. How do you feel the sensation? I asked the child and he said yes. But how come it happens? I said, find it out. And he continued for 5 minutes. That is how this mind, that is how we need to work on the mind. Not work through the mind. That is why I told you, keep your mind aside. Move the mind on the right leg. Mind on the right leg again, feel the sensation. The mind goes again to the right leg. You experience the relaxation. Move the mind again. Where? Right leg, you know it. Compare it with a child, that is what I said. Exactly, your mind is like a child. And if you experience the stillness, move the mind on the left leg. Mind again on the left leg. Sensation and relaxation. Move the mind once again on the left leg. Experience the stillness. Sensation, relaxation, and the stillness. Move the mind on the entire body. Feel the sensation. Move the mind again on the body. Relaxation. The mind on the body again, you experience the stillness. Do you discover without doing anything to the body, you have moved the body into the state of the sensation, relaxation, and stillness? Because you started working on the mind. You have to find out what happens when we work on the body itself, like stretching and the sweating. The mind does not change. And if you change the mind, not only the mind, but the body and the brain also undergoes a change. So we are in the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. In that state, when we have understood, we are aware that you are different from the mind. Now you can play with the mind. Let us play gently. Look at the breath. The moment the breath goes in, look inside the forehead and drop the sound soham. Soham means I am that. What is that? Peace and happiness. Just remembering. Breath goes in, look inside the forehead, drop soham. The breath comes out, look inside the forehead as if the breath is coming from the forehead outside, again drop soham. What is the point of awareness here? The mind touches the space inside the forehead again and again. At the same time, we reinforce one sound in the form of a mantra. We are not going in detail about the mantra. The moment the breath goes in, every time the breath goes in, your mind says, oh, I have to touch the inner space inside the forehead. And it confirms by saying soham. See this is what I want to convey. The breath comes out soham, going in soham, coming out soham. We are working on the inner self now. Outer self, we have parked that outer self. The way we have parked the car outside, we have parked the body and the sense organs and the motor organs. We experience the changes. Okay, we accept it and we continue the journey. How simple it is. How playful it is. Now see, if you are working on the mind or the mind is working on you, how to know it? So simple. When the breath goes in, you look into the space inside the forehead and drop Soham. And stop saying Soham when the breath returns. It is pure space. And you will realize you made a mistake. Not you, the mind. Subconsciously, even if you are not aware of those thoughts and impressions, and still the mind makes a mistake. That is how we learn. It is good. So what we are doing, the breath goes in, we are dropping Soham, the breath returns, we are saying nothing. Let the breath come out on its own. Breath goes in again, Soham. These, once you reach to a higher state, then the steps are play and a fun. When you live into higher state of, you can say, challenges, mental and emotional challenges, then we need a personalized practices, and that is why I work much better than a mental health counselor, because of the Eastern psychology is very deep, has evolved for 6,000 years. Now is the time to do nothing. Just do nothing, remain as you are. So you are doing nothing means mind is experiencing the changes. It may bring the past impression. Let it happen. You experience the sensation, relaxation and stillness. You experience the calmness inside. That is your mind experiencing, not you. You see that the mind is experiencing those changes. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhave. Let everyone be happy. Let everyone be healthy. Let everyone be blessed. Let none suffer from misery in this world. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand. Bring your awareness on the left hand. We don't rub our hands after the meditation. No. Because that helps us to remain in that state for a longer period. Otherwise, the mind returns to the body very fast. Lift your both the palms gently, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. Sit up. Let us share our experiences now. Wonderful. Everyone is so beautiful. We'll share our experiences. They are not doing anything to you, my friend. You can sit up now. Yes. I believe, I trust. That's good. That's your progress. How are you, my friend?
Very good.
Very good?
Mm-hmm. I just had my right leg kept bouncing.
I was looking at it. That's why, yes. Let it bounce. So there will be the jerks, and it is a release. That is how the master explains. It is a release of those impressions from the mind that causes the trouble.
I try to stop it, but
No,
it just
no,
breaks
no,
out.
no, no, don't stop it, don't stop it.
Yeah.
Just let it happen. So I was, but you feel good. That's good.
Thank you.
After regular practice, these starts happening. Sometimes it happens even in the first session. How are you, my friend?
I'm okay.
You're
I just really could not relax the whole time.
What happened?
I don't know. I wasn't able to concentrate.
Because you tried to concentrate, that was the problem. Are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? Are you concentrating? Then you are looking at me, or you are simply looking at me?
I'm looking at you.
That is the answer. But then what happens, my friend, that someday the mind picks up the past impression and it gets carried away. It tries hard. That very trying hard needs to be dropped. When that happens, when your mind complains, I'm not able to concentrate, at least don't do anything for a minute. Get that thought away and return again. It will happen. It will happen. That is what I did today to that 4-year-old boy. The child doesn't listen, He started jumping. Okay. I said, I'm also jumping. Then I gave one thought. How old are you? 4 years. Oh, I'm 3 years old. No, you cannot be 3 years old. No, I'm 3 years old. How can you say I cannot be? So at the end of the session, he said, but are you 3 years old? I said, yes. And he had a laugh. Does that make any sense intellectually? No. It makes sense how to take your mind, how to win over the mind. I did not force him to say that I'm 3 years old. I did not concentrate. How are you, my friend?
I feel really good.
Good.
Thinking about putting I wish yesterday I was able to do that. And
I love you. This is the point you have to work on.
the thing is that I was in a restaurant when it happened, and it came on so quickly that I don't even remember, like I remember it happening, but I don't even know where it came from. And so, it wasn't like a seizure that like a grand mal seizure or anything, but I kinda just, my mother said I was like this. My hands were stiff,
Yeah.
and my eyes were flickering, and
Yeah.
I couldn't speak.
Yes.
So, but I knew today I had to come because I needed to.
Yes.
I needed to do something again, and I come all the time. But
Yes, you come all the time. This is wonderful. One of the most important point. This mind is so much crazy. It says, in a restaurant I cannot relax. On a bed I can relax, but I don't get to sleep. It complains. The moment the mind is in a complaint mode, recognize that it is not aware of yourself, it is aware of everything outside.
because I felt like this session, I was able to put my mind aside.
You succeeded.
I focused on
Yes.
my arm, or my other arm, or my, my chest and my belt. Like my rib cage. I can really focus when I'm in meditation, and I felt like I was very deeply.
You are deep. Yeah, it will happen. You will succeed. How are you, my friend?
Rested.
Rested? Why you started looking at everyone?
I look at everyone.
You look at it. But it is good. It is good even to have a deep sleep during the practice. If you continue to practice regularly, the sleep will break. So don't consider the sleep or any challenge as a problem. So the moment you explain the problem, now we understand, and the next time we do the practice.
Oh, and can I say one more thing? I got home and I laid down and I slept for almost 4 hours. So after the seizure, I have a tendency to go to sleep.
Yes.
And I slept for 4 hours, and I was up for 2, and then I went back to bed and I slept through the night. So
It happens. It happens. There is a reason. I'll talk about it. How are you, my friend? Good? Happy? Sleeping? No, meditating. Okay. How are you, my friend?
Very peaceful now.
Very peaceful?
That's good.
Wonderful. Wonderful. How are you, my friend?
Pretty good. I got some relaxation.
Oh, you wanted to give a class, I took a class from you. I'm sorry. But first feel relaxed. When you are in peace, you can make others in peace. But it happens in our country, even if we are stressed, we make others peaceful. We others make happy. We are highly stressed. That doesn't work in the Eastern wisdom. So Buddha took 7 years to reach to that state. When he reached to that state, he went back to his home, knocked the door. There used to be a big door in India, and we have it. So his father was there along with his wife. So wife told Buddha, I know, you were begging, you have nowhere to sit or live and relax and sleep. That is why you came back. Come on, welcome. And Buddha was smiling. So his dad said, now you have understood. If you don't have money, if you don't have a right bed to sleep, come on, I forgive you. Buddha smiled again. He said, I have not come here to stay inside the palace. I have come here to tell you that I have found the peace and happiness. Please follow me. Buddha said, follow me, Dad. Honey, follow me. They did not. His cousin heard this, whose name is Ananda. Ananda means bliss. So Ananda became one of the greatest disciples of Buddha. Choice lies on you in this journey. Thank you.